Welcome to the TCO. I am the Corrupted Otaku, and I'm here to bring you my preview of Death Note Season 1. I just finished the last episode in Season 1, which apparently is a total of 19 episodes. And this anime within itself actually somewhat surprised me, mostly to the point to where it really wasn't what I actually expected it to actually be. You know, just simply the name Death Note, I was actually curious as to exactly where it was going to go, what it was going to be about. So when I was actually conveyed from the very first episode of what it was about, I was like, I was not expecting that. I even had somebody question me on a message board because I posted this kind of information there, and they were like, well, what were you expecting? As if I was supposed to automatically know before even watching it that that's what it was about, simply from the title Death Note. Which technically the title Death Note doesn't even have to imply an actual notebook. It could be literally a note. So anyway, I really did enjoy this anime, and I'm definitely so far enjoyed it so far. I really can't say I've enjoyed it because I haven't finished it. But yeah, Season 1, basically you follow this character. His name is Light, and basically he ends up finding this notebook, which actually says right on it, Death Note. It has a variety of rules and regulations, and basically whatever name he writes in there will ultimately die of a heart attack after, like, I think it's like 6 minutes and 40 seconds. He can also specify the death within itself, whether it's violent, brutal, that type of thing. He then later in Season 1 also is able to understand that he's not just able to do that, but he can actually, as long as it's in the realm of reality, actually make them do stuff to a certain level. Like if it's in that person's character, like something they would do, like if I'm a bank robber, then it's probably likely that I probably would, hold up a bank or hijack a bus or something like that. So he'd be able to write that kind of information and say, I do this on this bus or this plane, and, at the end of it all, I probably get hit by a car or some shit like that. I really do like this concept. One thing that is really driving in me is the character development within this anime. The main character, Light, as we're progressing through the episodes, I'm sitting there watching him, and I'm not really beginning to actually like him. I'm actually more or less beginning to actually hate him because of his idealistic goals that he has. He wants to create a pure world of no evil. But in order to do this, he also comes to this point where he's killing, quote-unquote, not-so-evil people, and it truly makes me question him. In fact, I would have to say that I officially no longer like the character when he ended up killing a female character that in all reality was as innocent as she could be. I don't want to exactly give away who she is, but I was just like, I did not really care for the character. And near the end of the Season 1, basically his personification, the character that he is, changes. I don't want to say exactly how it changes, but he does change. And I must say that I do like this character. I'm hoping, me personally, that he doesn't go back to the old character, because I didn't care for him. In fact, I was actually, during those moments of watching him, I was hoping that he would fail. The police, the FBI, everyone else that was I was basically rooting for the L, which is another main character. He's like the best investigator in the world, and when they have an unsolvable case, they usually go to this guy named L. So I was really rooting for him, but now that his personification has changed, I've definitely been liking the character. So that's something about the character development that I really like about Death Note so far, is that, they got me to hate the character in the beginning, not to really care for his idealistic values, and then granted, he does change, not probably in a way that you would think. It's still somewhat questionable of whether I would actually like the character or not, simply because he does have the ability to write whatever in the notebook. So I'm still somewhat questioning whether or not this is all just his plan, and he's just, pretending for this for a certain amount of time, because there's so many rules like borrowing. You can allow someone to borrow your Death Note, the notebook, if a human has it. So, you know, this brings me a lot of questions of whether he actually did this, and he no longer remembers the information, but eventually it'll come to that point where he remembers, and he'll continue down his path of his idealistic anti-heroism that I really don't care for. So it's very interesting. I'm really actually excited to see where this goes. I mean, I'm definitely asking a lot of questions. So far, Death Note, I would definitely recommend you checking it out. I do definitely plan on checking out the manga, because I do have volume 12 here. Obviously, I haven't read it because I haven't read like the first 11 in the series. This was sent to me. It was gifted to me by the Master of Reality. So, you know, I'm definitely going to be finishing collecting those, and definitely something I'm probably going to buy on, you know, DVD or Blu-ray, depending on which format it's available on. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this quick preview of Death Note, and I will see you next time on the TCO.